now let me show you the console. So you will see there would be written something called server. Yeah. So this means that it was rendered on the server. It just gets showing you the output. If I go here and you will see hello world is here. So basically that's how you do server-side rendering when you are using Redux and any state management
Hello.
library which is
Hey,
tightly
hello.
coupled.
So, this video is on server-side rendering, and I made this because I was also facing this issue in server-side rendering, and that's why I made this video. And I hope you guys would like it. And yeah, that that's it. So, get back to the screen.
Yeah, so like this is how our website looks like, and let me show you the page source for this first so that you get an idea ki what I am talking about. So as you can see ki every data and every text is being rendered previously, because on the view source you will see what server is sending, and the thing that you inspect is after the hydration that's being shown to you. So this is not the real data. So if you see something here and you can't say that it's server side render. To know that if it is server side rendered or not, you have to no you should go to this view page source, and you should see ki the thing you want to server side render is available here or not. You can just press Control F and search for user specific data if you are into any user specific routes. So you can do that. So you will say ki okay, this the home page is like server side render, for like it's easy to render a page which like home page. So let me tell you, let me go to any website. This is a portfolio builder website. So let's just go to some of the demo portfolios that I created, and let me give you like a pretty overview of what's happening. So as you can see key, let's say this name is being fetched from the database. Yeah. So if I show you, let me click view page source, and if I click here, so you will see somewhere here is the Ankush. Yeah. And the demo email. So don't like see how what type of email is this. Is just it is being server side rendered. Now what the thing I was going to tell you, so let me show you the code for this. So this is a dynamic route inside app router. So you will see there is no use client. Yeah. So the thing is, to server side render anything, you have to make the page.tsx a server component, and you don't have to do anything to make it a server component. You just don't add the use client directive as you do in any other components. So get back to the our page.tsx. And also you will question ki what if I am using let's say state management library Redux, and let's say you are wrapping your whole component into let's say any authentication provider. Let's say I'm using Next.js. So let me show you key. You need not to worry, because I will clear each and every doubt of yours. So see, this session provider is coming from Next.auth, and this Next.auth requires to a file which is marked as use client. Also, same with this, not with this. Let's go to the layout.tsx, the entry point. Yeah. So this is a layout.tsx, and you will see that this is like good, like this is a server component. But if I go to inside the provider, you will see that this is use client. So you will say that this isn't going to be server side render. But let me tell you something. This dark mode is also a server side component. Oh, sorry, use client component. But the thing is, the children that is being passed over here is ultimately the page.tsx. Yeah, the page.tsx I was talking about. Yeah. So I was saying ki you need not to worry ki what will happen if we want something. Let's say the topmost file is use client, so there is no use that if the children that is passed is even a server component or not. So how Next.js works is that if it is a server component, it will still get render even if it's inside a use client. So if it is a server component, Next.js will run it and will store it somewhere, and whenever required inside a use client, it will send that. So what's happening here with our our example is that you can see this is a page.tsx, and what we are doing is to do server side rendering, you have to fetch the data inside a async function. Like previously what I was doing is wherever I needed the data, and I was using this fetch request and storing the data inside the our Redux store, and then using the selector. If you are aware about the use selector and Redux and all, so Redux is basically a state management library, and inside that you get two hooks. First is use dispatch to update the store after getting the data from the server. So I was doing that dispatch, and to read the data from the store, from the storage, there is a hook they provide called use selector. So that's pretty much overall overview of Redux. So I was doing that, so I was fetching the data inside a use effect. So use effect, if you know it, it's a it runs after the hydration, after the JavaScript reaches the client. But the initial HTML that is sent to the user, I'm talking about this, the initial HTML that is sent to the user comes from the server side render. But if your every component is use client, so nothing would be sent, only the script tags would be sent, which is not good. Yeah, when crawlers come, it will not see any data, and what will he do with this all jargons and all? So to do that, I made a async function, and not I, everyone makes this async function. So you can make this and fetch the data inside it. Yeah, and yeah, so this is fetching the path name which we will provide to this function, and it will just return to us these are the followings. The portfolio is our data. Okay, so this is for the error case. If it is success, it will send the portfolio response. So if you see, this is a normal React component. So inside that we are getting the params. This is the way to get the params in Next.js. You can see the documentation, and and here you will see ki we are passing this path name to that function I described over there. And what we are doing is we are just passing this portfolio to a client wrapper. Now you will say ki why a client wrapper? If I show you what insides that client wrapper is, this client wrapper again is an use client. Yeah, but this is the way to do server side rendering. Server side rendering has to pass the data through props. We can't do anything, or maybe there would be some cases, I'm not aware. So for now, that's how everyone is doing, and I am also doing. So what we did, we take the data from the page.tsx, and yeah, so now we take the data from the page.tsx, passed it into a client wrapper, which is a use client. So let me show you what's happening inside. So the hooks I was talking about is this. So the main hooks are use dispatch and use selector. This app thing is a custom hook to get the type safety because I'm using TypeScript. So leave that. Come to the main purpose. So this is the initial data we are receiving from here. As you can see, it's passed as initial data. We are receiving it, and let's see where it's being used. You can see we are taking the initial data.route name inside the path name. Oh, this is for the my logic to get if the user is the owner of the portfolio or not. So let's leave that. Let's again click on the use initial data, and you will see key this initial data is being set in this use state. Yeah, and now this use state, the portfolio, I have passed to every component that is required. You can see there is a hero component, there is a skills component, there is a projects and experience component. So let me show you on the website. So this is a hero component. This is skill component. I haven't added the experience and all stuff, so that's why it's not being shown. So you get the idea, yeah. So I have passed using the use effect, or sorry, use state, so that when hydration occurs, hydration means when everything has been rendered, and when this will run on the client or the browser, so that we can update the store, so that when user, let's say, adds some name and adds and deletes something from there, so we can show him. To do that, we have to ultimately send this use state to the um Redux store. So that's what we are doing over here. We are dispatching. Okay, so the path name I talked about, that's what I am doing. It's my logic. You can just ignore it. So we are just checking key if it is honor. So we are sending the initial data with is honor set to true. Otherwise, we are just initializing the Redux store with initial data. Yeah, and this way the user or the client has also initialized its Redux store. So now you will see there is also a variable Redux portfolio. So this is fetching the portfolio slice. So what I did is, this Redux portfolio is also inside a use effect. So whenever this changes, because inside the use effect we dispatched it, yeah. So it means this Redux portfolio is subscribed to the values of portfolio slice. Whenever this changes, this use effect will run, and it will update the state update the state, and ultimately when portfolio changes, the each component will re-render, and everything just works fine. So that's the pretty much idea about it. And if I show you each component, so inside each component I have to do this. Maybe there would be some other way, but for now I am doing this. I just wanted to update you guys because I was really stuck on this topic for too long. So let me just go to the hero, and inside this hero you will see ki we are taking portfolio, and what we are doing with this portfolio, we are again um, we are just using this portfolio that personal image, you can just say we are using that portfolio to map the data. Previously what we were doing is, we were also, you can see user selector is not being used anymore, because we were previously using this to fetch the data from the Redux store. Now we are not doing that. Instead we are using this portfolio. So yeah, that's what I am doing inside every component. You can see if I go to, let's say, skills, and inside that also, oh, this is because there is a another use form which doesn't needs to render on the server, so I basically used. So that's I guess commendable. So this is form, just forget it. Okay, so I guess that's the pre, but you will say ki what's the proof? Okay, I mean that's the wrap up, but let me show you ki this is a React component, and if I add any console logs, or not even console logs, let me show you. We are making this fetch request, yeah, fetch slash path name. If I go to the website and click here inspect, and if I go to the networks, and let me just do fetch xcrs, and if I reload, you will see that slash fetch names comma path name would don't be there. So this is another one. This is honor, is just checking ki this slash uncle is does belongs to this user which is logged in or not. So this is not the thing. So you can see this request is being made from the server. To make you more clear, I can do one thing. um, what I can do is simply a log would solve your issues, I guess. Console, and oh sorry what I'm typing. um, console.log, and let's just say hello world. Yeah, what else can you write? Okay, so now let me show you the console. So you will see there would be written something called server. Yeah, so this means that it was rendered on the server. It just keeps showing you the output. If I go here, and you will see hello world is here. So basically that's how you do server-side rendering when you are using Redux and any state management library which is tightly coupled. So initially, let me tell you the experience. I was also worried ki, because what happens is, if you see now, there would be a provider, because whoever uses Redux has to wrap the whole component inside, let me show you, inside a provider. Come on, the project has grown so much, man. Okay, layout.tsx. um you can see this is a provider. Yeah, so this provider I was talking, this provider is coming from React Redux, and we have to wrap our whole component to use that hooks, use app selector and use dispatch. So we have to wrap inside that. To do that, we have to wrap it, and to wrap it we have to make the file use client. So basically I was unaware. So like this is the way how you do it. You simply um you simply like make a function and make sure that it's a async function, and you await it. To call this function you have to await it, so that it waits and then sends the data to the clients, and it works all well. And if you want to like have this code and see yourself, you can go to the repo. It's open source and it's in the bio. Oh, sorry, not bio, so it's in the description. You can go there and check it out. And yeah, that's pretty much. And if you guys like want more such topics, I would tell you. And yeah, there would be some errors also. Let me show you, because um there might be errors like, not here. Yeah, if you see, hydration failed because the server rendered HTML did not match the client. As a result, this tree would be regenerated on client. So these are the errors which you will get if you try to do something server-side render. And this was one of the errors that was coming like for so long. That's why I saved it here. So at the end of the video, I am telling you so that you know. So yeah, that's pretty much about it. Server side rendering. And I will see what's the next topic I should work on. Until then, keep learning. Bye bye.